Hello, hello, hello out there to all of you in the multiverse. Welcome to another week of, well, I say week, when was the last time I posted? I don't remember. So this is another episode of the Rather Late programme with Bash Dinsmore. And this week I have the special guest of my good friend Dan Villano. So Daniel Villano is an actor, a voice-over artist, and a new-coming writer and director for the stage. So, let's talk to Dan Villano. Hi there, mate.
Hey, you doing alright?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
I'm alright, yeah.
So, let's start off with first things first. We're all on lockdown and we're doing this over the phone. So we are on a Facebook call, and I'm recording you through my other devices. So yeah, how are you feeling about lockdown, man? How are you doing?
Oh, God. It's interesting, because I've got a lot more free time on my hands, but at the same time I don't.
How do you mean?
Because I'm still in school, I'm a sixth former, and so I've got a lot of... I still have to self-teach, so I've got another year. And so my exams aren't cancelled, and so I have to teach myself about a quarter of all of my courses.
That's gutting.
Yeah.
It's even more gutting when I have a little jammy bastard of a brother next door who is in year 11 this year, so he gets 3 GCSEs.
Little bastard.
Yeah. As soon as I found that out, I was so pissed. I genuinely was very annoyed. The brotherly love. Yeah, no, I was gutted because I didn't do the greatest at GCSEs. I did well in A-levels, but I could have used the 3 GCSEs when I was doing them. And
I'm right slap bang in the middle between the years that get off their exams, and I'm right pissed off about it.
yeah, cheeky, mate. It's so fucking annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I chose A-levels that were all coursework based, so I didn't have that many exams in A-levels, whereas in GCSEs most of them are compulsory and you have to do it.
Yeah.
So my jammy little bastard of a brother, he is so lucky because he's actually quite smart, so he could have done well in those exams, whereas me on the other hand needed 3 GCSEs. I am not bitter at all.
I can sense it. I can tell.
You can tell. He feels the vibes going all the way to him.
I feel from here. The room's shaking.
Oh my god. Are you sure that's just not the King of Rusthall?
Oh God. Don't.
Okay, so let's go and start talking about what I've got on my list. So Dan, you're an actor and voiceover artist, and a let's say new writer and director as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
But first of all, let's talk about how we met, because we met not doing any of the jobs that I have stated.
We met not doing any of that.
No, because we're both working on something. We're both co-writing a play, but we didn't meet for writing. We didn't meet for acting. We didn't meet for directing. We were so. As most people know, I don't really do school performances that much. Not because it's anything like you know. It's not that I think I'm better than people, but it's the fact that I've been able to do professional things in my life, and I just feel that at school, not many people get that opportunity. So if I'm already doing it at that age, then I should be letting other people do it, although I still like to help work on it. So I'm either doing the sound or the lighting or something else. Or something else like that. Yeah. So I decided to, at school, I was mainly the sort of co-stage manager with Miss O'Neill, who was teaching most of the time. So I was basically doing the stage manager tasks while she was in lessons, and then when she was there, I was just milling about like the lazy fucker I was. But yeah, we met on Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which happened to be my last performance at St Greg's.
That was my first, actually.
It was your first and my last.
Yeah, it was my first one. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was crazy then. So that was quite special for the both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've moved on, not to bigger and better things, but to uni.
I mean, I think bigger and better is probably fair to say.
Oh mate. Well, yeah, I moved on to university, whereas you moved into sixth form, I suppose.
I was year 10 when I met you, so I moved into year 11.
Oh right, so you moved into big GCSE year.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. How did they go?
You know, that shit time.
So how were they for you? Were they a stressful time or?
What, GCSEs?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Year 11 was a very interesting time for me. Year 11 was honestly probably up until this point probably the most difficult year of my life, to be honest with you.
In terms of what? In terms of exam and schoolwork, or in terms of personal issues, or?
It was a mix of the two.
Right.
Because obviously, you know, having your final year of GCSEs, you know, that's
it causes a lot of anxiety. I can say the same for myself.
Yeah, that's enough on its own, right? But I was dealing with quite a few actually personal issues at the time. A lot of it was confidence based.
Sure.
There was some other stuff going on that I'm not going to get into because it will be on the internet and then no one will ever let me forget it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Just going deeper into that certain topic, no need to get into specifics, but what's it called? So, do you experience anxiety, depression?
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. To be honest, I think everyone does. To be honest.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing, especially with like teenagers, adolescents.
Yeah, especially going through times in education and, going through, exams, because in my opinion, education isn't what education is. Like, if you get me, education is supposed to be learning and, learning information and facts about certain topics and subjects, whereas at schools and universities nowadays, it's all about passing exams.
How it works in this current day and age is stressful, is stupid.
Oh my god.
Because it's stressful enough as it is at any stage of your life to be going through exam after exam after exam. But let alone when you stick a bunch of teenagers rampant with hormones, low self-esteem, and it just doesn't help anything because you end up with a bunch of people who've either been able to fly through their exams and now have like super egos, or people that have cripplingly low self-esteem, and neither of those things are good.
No, not at all. I get what you mean. As I said, I didn't do that great in GCSEs. I was actually freaking out whether I'd get into sixth form or not. And then finally, the sixth form team were like, "Look, you're a good lad. So we'll take you on a contract, and then If you can prove yourself, then we'll keep you on for the 2 years, and if not, you can get the fuck. Which was the words of Mr. Hunter. You can bugger
That
off.
sounds about right. Yeah.
Good old Nick. So I love that man. He's so scary, yet he's fucking jokes. It's
I know.
Oh my god. I'll tell you a couple of stories about him actually. So
Right.
so I remember being in year 7, right?
Yeah.
And back then we had a teacher who's no longer at the school. And we were in history class. So we had homework due in for said teacher. However, we knew that she was going to be off, and we knew there'd be a supply. So
Right.
none of us did the work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
None of us, including myself. But I had a mate called James who was sitting next to me, and basically what the story is we all went into this lesson of history where we thought we were going to get a supply teacher, but
Yeah.
Mr. Hunter walked in the room like Severus Snape, and we were all like, holy shit, who is this guy who looks like Voldemort? And I'm being too harsh, I love him. Yeah, so we were like, oh my god, who is this? And we're all sitting down at our tables, and he was like, everyone stand up. And so we all stood up behind our chairs. He was like, rule 1, you should all be standing up in a line outside the classroom. And we were all like, but one of the other teachers told us to go and sit behind our chairs. And he was like, nobody should argue with me. And we were like, oh god, he's one of those. We're all fucked.
We're all going to die.
We're all going to die. Basically, yeah. But at the time, it was still his classroom.
Yeah.
Because this teacher, the original teacher we had, was a new person, so she didn't have a classroom yet. So she just flew about. But yeah, so it was still his classroom. So he was sitting at his desk, and he was like, "You may all sit down." And then he just looked at the person right by the door, did a finger movement with his fingers just to say close the door. So
Right. Yeah,
the kid,
he does that, yeah.
it just like, and so the kid shut the door. Then he was like, right, I know that Miss Blah Blah has all set homework for you, so please, can you put it on your desks? No excuses. And of course everyone was like, oh fuck, but we hadn't done it. But however, we all have like dummy pieces of homework. We have sheets of paper with random filled in shit. So we all took ours out. And my mate James next to me is just like freaking. He's like tugging my arm, and I'm like, what's going on, mate? And he's like, I haven't done the work. And I'm like, neither have any of us, but just pull out your work. And just pull out your dummy sheet, you know? And he was like, I don't fucking have one. And he was like, oh, you're fucked. So James is freaking out. And there was a kid on the front row who put their hand up, and Sir was like, put your hands down. No excuses, no arguments, nothing of the sort. If you don't have your homework, it's an immediate after-school detention. And and I think he said a phone call home as well. So he scared the living daylights out of us, right? But So anyway, this kid stands up and he says, "Sir," trembling with fear. He's like, "Sir," and Mr. Hunter just puts his glasses down a bit and is like, "What?" And he's like, "Sir, I need to tell you something." And he's like, come to the front of the class. So this kid shuffles to the front of the class, and he's like, sir, and he's like, spit it out, boy. And he said, so I don't have my homework. I've forgot it. Are you sure you forgot it, or did you not do it? I left it on the I left it at home, sir. And he was like, right. I want you to go to the back of the classroom and face the wall. So he went to the back of the class and faced the wall.
Yeah.
And at this moment, as I said, it was still Mr. Hunter's classroom. So he grabbed the key from his pocket and went to the bottom drawer of his desk and opened it. And he had a smirk on his face, and we were like, what the fuck's going on? And he pulled out this brick, and and we were like, holy mother of fuck. And he smacked it. No, he didn't murder a kid. He smacked it down on the desk, and this kid was scared shitless because he didn't know it was coming. And he was like, holy mother of fuck, what was that? And
brick or like a fake one?
No, proper one. There's probably from what I remember, there was still a mark on the desk by the time I had finished GCSEs.
Oh my god.
And so he basically said, do not forget your homework again, or I'll use this in another way. And
oh my god.
this kid was like, holy mother of fuck, and ran out of the class, having a mental breakdown. Anyway, I didn't see him for a week. Didn't see him for a week.
Jesus
and
Christ.
When he returned, it was only for one day. And he was like, I'm never coming back here. And we were like, what? And he said, I'm going to Bennett. So Mr. Hunter got this kid to move school because he scared the shite out of him.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember talking to him about it a few years later, and Mr. Hunter had no fucking clue who the kid was. He said he did that to many students. And I was like, Jesus fuck. So, anyway, cut to my time working in IT at school. Contrasting to the scary motherfucker, there was hilarious dumbass, because he called us up in the office one day, and both Tom and Debs were like, answer the phone. So I answered the phone. He was like, printer's not working. You know, like, printer says no. And I was like, right, what's the problem? And he said, dunno. I was like, does it have a red monitor? Is the button flashing? Like, is it just not got any paper? What's the problem? And he was like, there's smoke coming out of it. And I was like, where is this? And he said, in the sixth form office. And I was like, ah. So I hung up and told Tom and Debs, and Tom was like, go and have a look, make sure it doesn't burn down the sixth form down. And I was like, surely it should be one of you two, because they were the adults there. And they were like, no, just go do it, see what happens. And I was like, right. So I unplugged it, and at the time there was like smoke coming out of the fucking room. So I had to use like a mini fan to like get the smoke out of the room. But I phoned Tom on my mobile, and I was like, yo, this thing's buggered. And he was like, bring it down to the office, we'll see what we can do. I was like, right, okay. Brought it down to the office, and we opened it up, and like there was a piece of paper which had looked like it'd been on fire. And we both looked at each other, and in that moment we were like, that's not good. So we fucked about with it, and in the end we worked out that it was a fuser that was not working properly, and if a fuser fucks, then it just burns the whole thing. So we were like, ah, shit. But yeah, that's the two sides of Mr. Hunter, because he was a scary fucker in the first story, but then in the second one it's like, I said, you might not be able to get this replaced. We might have to get you a new one. And he was like, no, I want the same case. I like this one. And we're like, it's not up to me. If it's fucked, it's fucked.
He set a fucking printer on fire.
Pretty much, and like it almost burnt down sixth form office.
Are these the stories that you tell us? Is this what happened? on this podcast. We just talk about.
Oh yeah. So so this podcast, as well as talking about everyone's projects and what we do, like I always like to talk about stories and certain things like relating to whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Solid.
we get distracted on this show a lot, and we go down.
I've noticed, yeah.
we go down different routes and go meandering down, fake bullshit rivers of random stuff. Because, because we were talking about depression and anxiety, and then Mr. Hunter.
How did we get from there to Hunter setting the printer on fire?
Exactly. This show is crazy, Yeah, it happens a lot. It's less like this when I'm by myself because I don't have anyone to talk to about questions and stuff. So I don't ask anything to anyone. Or don't hear their story and then comment about that. But when it's by myself, it's just like it's me chatting for a bit, and then I'm like, I'm done. I've had enough. Whereas when I'm with a person, I can just ramble about shit for hours. Which is why they last a couple of hours, because we randomly go down different routes. Yeah, it's just bullshit, mate. That's basically what this show is. Subscribe to the Rather Late programme with Bash Dinsmore people. Just a cheeky little plug.
This has been a rather meta segment, hasn't it?
Just a cheeky little plug. Anyway, going back to the main topic of depression and anxiety. I noticed that you have an Instagram account, but you don't use it, do you? Because
no.
I remember talking to you about it, and you said that you don't use it for a particular reason, and I've forgotten what that was because I'm a shit friend. But
dumbass.
Dumbass.
It's fine.
So what's up there?
So I'm not going to go too deep into specifics because it's semi to do with what was going on with me in year 11.
Sure. Don't have to go into specifics. Just give us a gist and try not to make anyone else want to off themselves. I feel like I have done that many a time. And if it's not other people, it's normally myself. Oh, this show. I fucking love doing this show when I have a guest.
It's fun.
It's great when I have a guest. If I don't have a guest, then I'm just sitting here scratching my arse saying, what the fuck do I do for like 2 hours? It ends up being like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm good with that. Post it. Anyway, so what's up with the IG thing?
So, I had a friend who I was... Throughout year 11, they were...
Invisible?
No.
Right, okay. It's actually a person.
Actual person. They were very, very important. They were the whole reason I was able to get through year 11, to be honest with you.
Sure.
And
was this person me?
yeah.
Oh, I'm such a bastard. Carry on.
And so they were quite important. And then towards the end of year 11, something happened, and then we kind of just completely stopped talking.
Right. Okay.
Just one fell swoop. Just suddenly didn't talk.
Sure. Which happens a lot.
Sorry.
Which happens a lot. I mean, that's happened to me many times. Especially, like, I don't express it publicly that often because I don't like to talk about it publicly, but sometimes we have to because other people are suffering, and I think that if they hear other people's stories, then it's easier for them to talk about it openly. But I suffer from depression and anxiety, and it's hard sometimes, and to keep me from thinking shitty things, it's like I have to keep myself distracted, which is why I'm, of course, an entertainer, because that keeps me busy and entertained. When I'm writing scripts, it keeps me focused on that other world, like we've already spoken about in the past, and focused on those characters and writing that special type of thing for that day. And when I'm acting, I can pretend to be someone else, because when I think of it,
that persona,
if I'm acting, I'm not myself. Like, I remember...
It's the same with me, yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing a play when I was younger, and it was one of the first that I did. And I remember one of the big kids in the school, he saw me performing it, and you know, he was one of the popular kids. And anyway, the day after we finished the show, he saw me in the corridor, and he was like, "Hey man, you were great in that character." And I was like, "So people like me when I'm not myself." So then I was like, "Bingo, actor, let's do it." But no, I'm getting to grips with you know, being happy with oneself and inner peace and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, so people don't like me. That's the problem. But yeah, and as I say, keeping myself distracted is a good thing for me. So, messaging people, I message people fucking constantly.
Yes, you do.
Oi, relax, yeah, relax. It's a mental thing.
It's fine. I'm not slagging you off for it.
So you're just like, yes, you fucking do, you bastard. Oh, cheers, Dan. Cheers a lot. Thanks a lot. No, but when I get mugs for my show, people, I'm gonna get mugs printed with the logo of the Rather Late show, the Rather Late program with Bash Dinsmore on it. And Dan's already discussed with me that he's gonna take his and scribble out my name and replace it with his, out of spite.
Pure spite, nothing else to it.
So once I get those mugs and Dan's already changed the name, I will be leaving the show and Dan will take over.
I will be taking over the podcast.
The Rather Late program with Dan Villano. It will be funny. It will be funnier than mine. It will be so fucking much more special, though.
Whoa.
Hey, don't deny it.
Right.
Do not deny it.
It's true, but you can't say that, man.
Do not fucking deny it. I heard what poem you and your mate wrote to this bird. Fuck you know.
No, that's
Oh man. Yeah. So I mess with people constantly, and and I remember like being blocked by most of my mates for a bit on social media. So I'd go into school and they'd start talking to me like, "Oh, hey man, how was your weekend?" I was like, "You fucking blocked me. The message is clear, prick." And then they turn about like, no, we're sound. It's just you're fucking annoying on social media. And I was like, ouch, wow, I'm wounded. I am wounded. Like, wow. Just like, you're too needy. I was like, yes, I want attention, but fuck you. So that's kind of what happened with me about it, and you know, then I got into a relationship, which was great because I stopped pissing off my mates and I pissed her off instead. And 8 months through, she ditched me for it. Oh man, I'm hurting myself. This show does that to me, but I love it. Oh, I think every time I laugh on this show, it's like, deep down, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, why did I start talking?
Should I get back to the story that I was saying?
Yeah, sorry, I do this a lot. I go off on tangents. And meander down a fucking stupid river.
I was just telling the story, and they're just like, oh my god, he's bashing himself again.
Oh my god, don't say that, Jesus Christ.
That's not what I meant.
No, that is not what I mean.
That's staying in, isn't it? That's staying in.
Oh yeah, I don't edit this.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All I do afterwards is stick on the logo and maybe a couple of credits, and that's it.
I'm not going to be able to find a job, damn.
Oh my god.
Right. So, I was just trying to make a pun because you're Bash Dinsmore, and I'm like,
God damn it.
Anyway,
a lot of people have made those puns though about bashing oneself off.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Oh mate,
right.
It was a bloody Canadian who came up with my name anyway. Yeah, you were talking about this person who was special and then dipped.
Yeah. So basically they were a really, really close friend of mine, and basically the only reason I was able to stay sane throughout year 11.
Sure.
And towards the end, it was probably might have been about April time.
Sure.
I basically, one fell swoop, out of I want to say no fault of mine, but that's not completely true.
Right, okay, at least you own it,
It wasn't entirely my fault.
Okay.
I would admit it was...
But you admit, which means you own it, whereas I am always like, it's either 100% my fault or it's not. Like, I will own it all, or it's not fucking me.
I will admit, it was a lot. It was probably about 70% my fault.
Right, okay.
Maybe a little bit more than that, I don't know. But we stopped talking just completely.
Sure.
All of a sudden. And that was incredibly difficult for me.
Sure.
And they were, I assume still are, quite active on their Instagram page. Sure. And every time I would check my Instagram and I would see that they'd posted, every time it would just hurt.
Right, okay.
It was just, I couldn't bear it after a while. And so I just decided I'd just uninstall Instagram. I'm not going to look at it.
Fair enough. I get you. That happens to me sometimes. But I do want to just ask.
Of course.
It sounds like I'm being a dick, but it's just like, why didn't you just unfollow them or block them or remove them or whatever? But because, I mean, I get it that if you stop using that social media, then you're still following them and it seems like nothing's changed. But then again, you're not talking to them on that fucking social media, so it's like...
Now, I wasn't talking to them on that social media anyway, in fairness, but in hindsight, there was most definitely an option.
Yeah, okay.
When I was, when you're 15, incredibly depressed, you don't think things through.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. 100%. Oh, this show has turned so deep.
Yeah. Do we move on?
Yeah, we can.
Right, okay.
Oh my god. So anyway, we going back to how we met on the backstage crew, because I've already mentioned that I prefer the school students to do the school play because I had the chance of doing it professionally, and they probably won't. So, I was... Did you just say because I'm a big man?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Shut the fuck up. You prick.
Big shot.
Big shot, prick. You bastard. Absolute fucking bastard. Yeah, insult me on my fucking. The thing is, though, you get the last laugh because you're probably taking this over soon.
Because I'm taking over the podcast.
Exactly.
I invited you onto this episode, Bash. How dare you?
Oh, mate. When you take over, you must invite me back.
Oh, yeah.
And when you invite me back, I will turn you down and say, no, get to fuck. This thing's gone mad. Sorry, people who are listening in. We're just having fun. That's what it's about, having fun, chatting away. Anyway, so we were the backstage crew on Mary Poppins, which was a big significant thing for us, because it was my last one as at St. Greg's. And it was your first one,
It was my first one, yeah.
So it was both big ones for us, and I remember we stayed in contact. I mean, we probably didn't message that much.
We didn't talk at all, I don't think.
No, actually, we didn't message at all until one day, I think in the month of... yeah, it was probably January of the next year, which was like 6 months later. We didn't speak for 6 months, and then I come out of the blue and just force you into a movie role.
You scripted me into one of your little shows.
I was like, it's war, you're drafted, well done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you have won the role.
No, looking back at it, you were the one who conscripted me into working backstage as well, funnily enough.
Was I?
Yeah, you were, because what
I
happened...
swear I didn't really know you before that.
Because what happened was... The only reason I was working on it, because I don't like musicals, I don't like... and I can't sing and anything like that.
Did
And so
Mike
I've never
force you
been
in it?
involved. Sorry?
Did Mike force you to do it? Because I asked Mike for more help backstage.
What happened was I was asked to help make props, because doing GCSE drama, according to Mike, done quite
Oh my fucking god!
props. and so he said to me, Dan, would you mind being on the props team for the school production? I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And then one day, I can't remember if I was actually doing anything at the time. I was either making a kite.
I remember exactly, mate. I remember exactly now. You've reminded me.
Fuck all.
You've
went up to me and you went, what are you doing? I went, I'm on the props. You went, no, you're not. Come with me.
yeah. I'm a bitch. No, yeah, I remember exactly what happened. So, you were doing something. I think you were just chatting with Will or the lighting boys, and
yeah,
I saw you, and Will fucked off, and you were just there by yourself, and I was like, yo, what's up? And we were just chatting for a second, and then I was like, wait, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you work on the production? If not, fuck off. And I think you said props, so I was like, props. So that's Miss O'Neill, and she's stage as well. Come with me, and I took you on stage and made you move some stage around with me because nobody else was fucking there.
I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I had never done any stagehand stuff.
Well, neither did I until... Because year 7 and year 8, for me, I was on the music department. And then year 9 onwards, I helped out the music department to start with, to sort of help them out, find musicians and all that. And then I moved over to the stage stuff because Miss O'Neill needed help. So I helped her out. But yeah, so I forced you into the stage thing as well.
Yeah.
My fucking god. So I basically forced I forced my life upon you, and I was like,
conscription,
our friendship is based around drafting you to help out on stage.
Yeah,
oh my fucking god, I love that. That makes it even better.
No, Mary Poppins was...
It was something though. It was quite good, wasn't it? I mean, we slagged off a lot of the kids. I think. Yeah, I think. It was really fun, and I loved working on it. And I love all the boys, like the lighting guys and the sound guys, and I love all those different little crews. But yeah, I also love just when there's rehearsals and we don't have to do anything. Like they're gonna rehearse the same scene for like 4 hours straight. I love that, because then me and someone like you we just chill backstage, because we're stage crew, so we can chill backstage up on the balcony or whatever, and just like, I remember we were on the balcony once, and we looked down, and like, everyone was getting it wrong, and Miss Portese, who was doing the dance choreography, Marika was just slagging everyone off, and so we did the same thing, and we slagged everyone off down there, but then we went on to slag like everyone in the hall, and we were like, fucking dancers can't do it properly, and then we were like, she fucking shouts too much, oh, lighting guys are fucking, and just like slagged off everyone, and then we were like, wait, shit, like, what the fuck are we doing up here?
What have we done? No, Mary Poppins was like a lot of fun, because I made 2 really, really close friends with Mary Poppins, one of them being you.
And
another one. Do you remember? I'm not sure if you remember this, but there was there was a girl who was like one of the actors. And do you
oh
remember,
my fucking god! I remember you hanging out with someone.
Do you remember when we were talking about something, and then this girl went up to me, gave me a big hug, and I looked you dead in the eyes and went, "Help me."
Oh my fucking god, yeah. And At the time, I was clueless and just thought you were, like, pulling. And I was...
No,
No,
I'm
genuinely.
uncomfortable with physical contact. Genuine cry for help.
Oh, my God. I genuinely, like... Yeah, this person hugged you and you looked at me, like... But I thought you... Because from your case, you were looking at me to help me, get me out of here. And I thought you were looking at me to say, fuck off, I want some alone time or some shit. And I was like, oh. But then I was like, no, I'm not leaving you fucking alone because we got work to do. So I went, I swear...
I was trying to get you to get me out of there.
Oh, mate, I read the situation completely wrong. I read it wrong.
I've known her for like a week or two, and I'm incredibly uncomfortable with physical contact, and this girl just ran up to me, gave me a bloody bear hug. I'm like, what am I doing here? Get me out!
Oh my fucking God. That play was amazing. I loved working on that. And the different type of people you meet on productions like that. Oh, mate, it's just...
Yeah.
Yo. Oh, mate. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, no, because I thought you were, so she was still hugging you, and I was like, come on, fuck off, like, I've got to do work with him, or like, he's got to help me out with this, because nobody else is fucking here, so, correct me if I am completely wrong, but I swear I said something like, yo, please, can you have your reunion later? I've got to drag him into a cave under the stage. And I literally dragged you under the stage to help me carry out something.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. The Hobbit Hole.
Oh, yeah, the Hobbit Hole. I love that shit. I remember fucking one of the sound and... No, one of the lighting boys. I love him so much. I love Artem. He stuck a fucking... a bottle of water under the stage, and he put it on a block, and I was like, oh, don't forget your water, and he was like, oh no, I'm gonna leave it there for a couple of years and see what happens, and I was like, right, okay, and oh god, I think is he in his final year, or is he done? Is he done?
He's year 13, but considering what's going on, I think he's done now.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to send him a message later and be like, did you see what happened to the bottle? Because maybe he hasn't, because the musical's obviously not going on this year.
Yeah.
Sad times.
So, I'm gonna have to try and work on a musical next year and then just see what happened to the bottle, because I'm curious as well.
Oh my fucking god! If it's still there, like Mike might have cleaned it out himself, to be honest. But yeah, if it's still there, see what happens.
Oh yeah,
100%, 100%. Did you perform last year? Because obviously I had moved on to uni.
Last year's school production.
Yeah.
I was supposed to. It was Sick Dragged, was the school production.
Yeah.
And I was cast as one of the gangsters, Pablo.
Pablo. I can see you as Pablo.
And I said I could try, and he went, "Yeah, that's fine."
Spanish. Go on. Give us an audition. Give us a go at your Spanish.
Now, bear in mind, I never said that this Spanish accent was any good.
No, it's great. It's great. Go for it.
What do you want me to say? You got to fucking put me on the spot like that.
Just my name is my name is Daniel Villano, and I am an actor. Just do it more.
My name is Daniel Villano. I am an actor.
Oh my god, you're sounding French, mate. You're sounding fucking French. Just like, my name is Daniel Villano. I am an actor. Baguette.
Yeah, look, I don't know. That's how French people speak.
Oh, yo, yes, they fucking do.
Oh my god, sorry. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna get no jobs in the future because I said that.
Oh, mate, who cares? I'm fucking racist all the time. I don't mean it, I just take the piss. But some of you fucking people just take it too far. Anyway. Yeah, I look forward to your angry emails and tweets, people.
I apologise to any French viewers.
I don't.
No.
So yeah, anyway, moving swiftly onwards, because
Yeah.
we're already like 45 minutes in and I haven't talked about any of our projects apart from Mary Poppins. So at the moment, we are both co-writing a play. You reached out to me to help you co-write a play, a charity play. So
Yeah.
do you want to talk about this play and tell everyone what it's called? Because what it's called is fucking funny, but fucking stupid.
Yeah, of course. So, as a charity event for my school, we were trying to, because we try and hit a goal to raise a certain amount of money every year. And I'm at St Greg's, my school. I'm the deputy head boy, and so I'm quite involved with the fundraising stuff like that. And I thought, you know, it'd be quite a good idea if we did a charity event that was like a play set up by the sixth form.
Sure.
So it's all complete. So it's completely written, directed by members of the sixth form. And I thought that could be really cool.
Sure. And then you thought you were too much out of your own head, so you had to ask for help. I am joking.
No.
I'm joking.
And so I thought, yeah, this will be fun. And then I started to
come up with ideas
put
for
shit
it.
together.
Yeah.
And then everything with like Corona happened. I was like, because the plan was, I think it was supposed to happen like the final date was supposed to be in like May, but then Corona happened.
Oh fuck.
So that's not happening.
Yeah.
But it's given me plenty of time to write it, so I started.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because at the moment both of us have not written that much. To be fair, we've written a lot, but it's not that many scenes at the moment.
Yeah. And so I thought it'd be a really good idea to do this for a charity event where like all the money made from tickets goes to charity, and it would just be because the school productions are fairly successful from as far as I'm aware, and so I figured we could tap into that potential, and plus it gives me a chance to like get more involved in like play performances because I haven't done that in ages.
Yeah. I love doing spoken plays. But as I say, my background's musical theatre, so I do musicals a lot more. Which means I don't get the chance to do spoken play as much as I want, which is really gutting because I love performing like that.
Yeah. Right, so I was writing it, and then I was thinking, shit, I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I thought, who do I know that's a writer? Who do I know that's good at this kind of stuff? And I thought, aha, the guy who conscripted me.
The guy who forced me into a film.
Sweet revenge. And
well, I'm actually enjoying it because I've never written a play before, so I'm actually enjoying this new type of medium. But if the if the plan was to fuck me over, then you've completely gone the wrong way about it, mate.
No, the plan wasn't to fuck you over because your conscription didn't hurt me because it did kickstart did start my career as an actor.
Wow.
And it feels so surreal to be able to say without bullshitting that I am an actor.
Yeah, for sure.
Admittedly, I'm not exactly some high-profile one or a professional actor or anything like that.
No,
but
I mean,
I can say, if someone says to me, "What do you do?" I can say, "I'm an actor."
Yeah, and you can show them your IMDb.
And that is a fantastic feeling.
Yeah, 100%. And you can show them that IMDb page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's genuine evidence that I've done something with my life, and that doesn't come around very much.
Oh, mate, don't get like that. But yeah, so the perks of having that page is that I post all of the stuff that you do for me on there, and then if people look at that and they, oh, is that just bullshit? They can actually go and find it online because there's links to those things, which is great. So we're writing this play, and this play is tell them the name of this play, which you brilliantly and eloquently came up with the other day.
So, the title of this play is For Goat's Sake.
Oh,
that is the title, and I spent a good few minutes, potentially hours, trying to come up with such a high intellect name, such as that.
But then smaller is better sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Less is more.
In some cases, bigger is better, but in other cases, you just need a goat pun in there.
Oh yeah, like the thing about this is that you've got some characters who are, you know, it's. Do you mind me sort of telling the story a bit? It's
Yeah.
So it's about a group of what would you say, special needs or
No. They're not special needs. They're just not very intelligent. How dare you?
Oh, I thought this was a special ed class. I was writing it as they were all
No.
special ed. Oh my fucking god. Oh, I've been.
Special ed. Special ed.
The thing is, it hasn't phased you when I've sent the script back and forth because I've been writing it as special ed kids.
No, because special is used in that kind of term anyway, and so I just didn't think much of it.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. So it's a group of not that bright students.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's the equally exasperated teacher, who I love writing for because it is the best character to write for because I feel him on a primal level. After working in St. Greg's. So all of the lines comes out of that character is just everything from my heart. Yeah, so they're certainly based off of real people in your life, would you say?
Yeah.
So I'll definitely mention it myself because I swear he never listens to this, so it doesn't matter. But so the teacher character is sort of based on a mixture of myself because when I'm writing it, I write about my own experiences as a staff member, but also one of our old computing teachers from the school who is just equally exasperated with life as he is with teaching. So yeah, it's based on the both of us, and I feel like we have a cracking character there.
Jones is definitely one of the more entertaining ones. They're all quite entertaining, I think.
Yeah, and if I were being cast in any of those roles, I wouldn't be fussy about who I was playing. But for me, Jones is just special on another level. That character is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love to see which teachers actually come to watch this performance because I want to see who feels like on the primal level as I do.
Who feels Jones? Who understands?
Yeah, who feels Jones? Who gets Jones? Because because I'm definitely going to be there, and I'm sure a couple of my mates will be there as well. But like if they both see on the, you know, are you gonna make like a what's it called, a little, what's it fucking called, the book where you write all the credits down, who fucking remembers, hang on, let me dig one up.
What, like a program?
That's it. I've been fucking... Oh, mate. I've been on lockdown too long, and I haven't been at my musical in quite a while. Yeah, so are you planning on making one?
If I have time...
Mate, you got 6 months. You got 6 fucking months. You can put it on paper.
I could just scribble it down and then just get someone to photocopy it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we because we're both co-writers, I'm sure that if the staff see a program with my name on it as in the writer, they will feel everything that has gone through this script from Jones because they have been in the trenches with me. They know what it's
in the trenches
with me. They know what it's like with the students. However, from my point of view, the teachers are fucking more special than the kids, to be honest. Like, not all of them, some of them. But, yeah, I mean, I won't name names, but some of the teachers, like, they don't even know how to turn on a computer. And this specific...
You're gonna name names after the recording.
Oh, yeah. And this specific teacher was an IT teacher, and she didn't know how to turn on a computer.
Oh, I know exactly who you're on about.
Yeah, exactly. And then I tell her to press the on button, and it works. And she's like, "Oh, magic!" And afterwards, it's something like, "Oh, the power cable. Just put it back in." It's not hard. Oh, mate, you know who I'm talking about, though.
Sorry?
You know who I'm talking about, though, don't you?
I know exactly who you're
Exactly,
talking about
100%. Oh, mate. I love the computing teachers that they hire, though, because it's like they don't even try. It's like the person I was just speaking about, the that teacher who couldn't even turn on the computers. It's... Oh, mate, it's like, yeah, they obviously didn't vet this person before hiring. And then with previous teachers, it's like, one of them had... I remember him coming into the class one day, and he was like, I hope you all are feeling alright after the weekend. I certainly have a banger of a headache, but I'm not going to let that make me any happier. And then he was like, I thought you'd like to start off with a joke. And we're all like, go on. And he was like, I am your new computer science teacher, and I have a degree in English language and law. And we're like, right, that's not going to help us. And then he was like, you see, the thing is, the governments and schools believe that because I've done law, I'm smart enough to do most subjects. Which is true. If you do something like law or maths or physics, you're smart enough to get the gist of stuff. So if you've done law, you know how to do problem thinking and problem solving and computing. Like, you'll get the flow of it eventually. But yeah, so this guy had no idea what he was doing, and apparently he was only one lesson ahead of us. So yeah, they don't vet them well, do they? Like, great people, I love the man, but yeah, not vetted well. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards to the thing that I drafted you into. So I first, after those 6 months of no chat from your new good mate, I pop up out of the blue saying, "Yo, bitch, come do a film for me. Audio only. You don't have to show your face." And you were like, "Yeah, why the fuck not?" And I was like, "Oh, Kirsty." So what happened was, there was another actor who played that part, and then they dropped out of the role for particular reasons. But I needed someone to take on the role, and I was like, oh fuck. And all my mates at the time were like, nah, we're good, we're on other projects, we're doing live action at the moment, so it's a bit busy. So I was like, who the fuck can I choose? And then I was scrolling through, no, I wasn't scrolling through, I was looking through my previous programmes from the school, and I saw Mary Poppins, and I was like, oh, that kid from backstage, Dan. Oh, yeah. He said he was going to perform at some stage. So I messaged you up, and I was like, yo, bitch, be in this film. And you were like, yeah, what the fuck not? But yeah, so so that's that's the best story ever, because you didn't even have to audition for your first film. You were just forced into it.
I haven't auditioned for any of my parts. It's great.
Yeah. It's because I'm desperate. It's just because I am fucking desperate. I have actually started to become a bit more professional, where I start asking people, if they're doing voice roles, I start asking them to do some, if they're supposed to do a different accent to their normal accent, I ask them to do a version of that, so I can hear if they're good enough to do that accent and not piss anyone off. Unlike me,
who... do Spanish for my next part.
Gemini Flanagan's Mexican cousin. Jorge Flanagan. Half Irish, half Mexican. Jorge. Oh my god. So you became the character of Richard Ryan. Slash Zero, who Zero is your sort of superhero name. So basically, what's your experience on the past few films? Because at the moment you've done two Saken films, Saken 3 Restoration and Saken United, which comes out 2 weeks Sunday. Or 2 weeks Sunday just gone. So that is coming out soon, people. Please go and watch it. Another little plug. So on the past... Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So on the previous 2 films, how do you like playing Richard? How do you like it? Unless you don't, and then I will be very disappointed. But
playing Richard, I hate it. No.
Son of a motherfucker!
Richard's a lot of fun because it's kind of weird because playing Richard, I see kind of like a side of myself that I didn't know was there in a sense.
Cool.
Because he's a bit of he's a family.
He's a family guy. He's a
family man.
Apart from Stuart in the first film, Richard is the first person to have a proper family in the Saken world, which is quite something, because none of these other bachelor type characters can land a woman.
Yeah, so it does mean a lot to me that my first role was an absolute shagger.
What a Chad, what a guy, what a man. Oh mate.
No, it's a lot of fun playing Richard because I get, particularly with some of the more recent stuff, I get a lot of comedic lines which I enjoy, and I also do get to do a lot of kind of like raw emotional stuff.
Yeah, especially in Saken the United Just Gone. That was really amazing stuff that I edited together, and you were beautiful in that, mate. Just your raw emotion in one of the scenes. I can't tell anyone what it is because it's not released yet. Dan knows what I'm talking about, hopefully, but yeah, that was just such a raw scene from you, and the music that I ripped off Marvel completely complements it. Hopefully I don't get fucked.
I think I've told you this before, but I think it's a funny story regardless. I had to record, because my mic sometimes it just peaks.
Oh my god, you told me this. Your brother, yeah?
When I'm recording, if my mic peaks during the recording, I just completely redo it. And there was one line in particular that was kind of like a bit of a shouty, kind of like quite panicked line. My mic kept peaking as I was doing the line, and I was like, oh for fuck, as I kept having to redo the line, and halfway through one of the recordings, my brother goes in and she goes, "Dan, can you shut the fuck up?"
What was it you said last time? Shut the fuck up about Miranda person.
Yeah, shut the fuck up about Miranda.
Miranda is the character's wife. That Dan plays. Shut the fuck up about Miranda. What, did they think that you were somehow going through some mental breakup with this bird that you've never actually met?
No, because my brother, he knows me, and he knows that I would never ever land a woman. So,
oh, that's so harsh. That's so harsh to yourself. I feel that on a primal level.
I'm sure he probably thought that I was like, I don't know, talking about some like, I don't know.
Oh mate, 100%. I feel that on a primal level, but I I have to say, if I've done it, you will definitely do it. Like, oh mate, I didn't think it would happen, but if I've done it, it will happen, my friend.
This would be the point where I plug my Instagram, but you know. About that.
About that. We will get social media handles off you at the end, though, so don't forget.
Oh God.
Oh God. So you have already done two films,
Yeah.
Restoration and United. We will do Saken, the end after the United film is released. So as soon as that's released, we'll start recording on the end.
Yeah.
And then you have another film for a solo film, and you will be second top billed in Justice, which, surprisingly enough, you have more lines than the main character, which is fucking...
Because I'm just that good.
Well, yeah, let's say that.
Go with that. We'll go with that.
No, it's because it's because the main character's fucking dead for the first 4
Shut
scenes.
up. Just let me have my moment.
Oh mate. Anyway, yeah, and then after that film, you have your own solo film, which you are the lead in. And then I bet we'll definitely make someone else the main character. Yeah.
I think as part of my contract, is it one more after that one?
Yeah, so you've got what was it? I made you do a 5 film.
It's 5 or 6, I think.
I made you do a 6-film contract, and then I extended it by 1 after Restoration. So you've got The End. You have Justice. You have Zero, and then I think you've got one more, which will be another Saken film. I think we'll call that Saken Forever, unless we extend your contract. But then again, you might want to move on to other things, like, for example, the audio series Protectors of Time, which you are a part of.
That was a smooth segue. That was smooth.
Thanks, mate. I try. I try. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it works.
You did it this time.
Woohoo. It's the little victories, mate. It's the little victories. Keep you happy. Keep you happy.
Every little helps, every little helps.
Tesco. Cheeky little plug. Yeah, Tesco is our sponsor today. No, they're not. We just had to say that.
That'd be incredible.
Oh my god, I want so many people to sponsor me. Come on, Iron Brew, where you at? Iron Brew, come on. Anyway, so Protectors of Time, you are playing a very different character to Richard.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the other end of the spectrum completely. Like, Richard is a family man and a hero.
A respectable guy.
Yeah, he's a respectable guy, a hero in his own right, and a good friend. He's a great friend. Whereas this guy you play in Protectors of Time, Gemini Flanagan, Gemini, which actually sounds like a fucking Irish name, Gemini Flanagan, Gemini Flanagan. What? Who wants to go to the pub for a pint? And then after the point, we get into a fight, and then I get passed out.
That sounds very Irish, yeah.
We try over here. It's one of the 5 accents that I can do. Yeah, one of the 5. It's not that many. English, Scottish, English RP, Irish, and shitty American. I have to say shitty American because my shitty American accent is shitty, and it's more musical theatre and high pitched than, you know. I will tell you a story.
When you said it was shitty, I did assume it was shitty, in fairness.
Yeah, shitty American. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you watch Potatoes at the Time, you can tell how shitty it is. Like I have gotten I have gotten a compliment from an American because she knows me as a Scotsman, so I hired her and I was talking to her about it, and then as soon as we were recording stuff, she heard my English accent in the final version of the episode where I play Captain Alex Lance,
Yeah.
who is English, and she thought that my English accent as Alex Lance was like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that has to be the best compliment that I have ever been given in my life. Like, what's great, what's great about it is the fact that it's Ewan McGregor is the actor who is Scottish, doing it in English, doing an English accent like myself, and then sounding like him, and I'm like, yo, that's amazing. But then, and then the same American actress heard my voice as Carter Matthews, and she was like, "You do it so over the top," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "It's just it shouldn't be that crazy." And I'm like, "What do you mean it shouldn't be that crazy?" And she's like, "Have you ever heard an American accent from an evil person, like?" You know, and I'm like, but that's the point. They're an evil speedster. They don't exist. Like, they don't exist. It's the point. It's supposed to be that dramatic. And it's like, I remember there was a line in one of the episodes which is like, the more people you saved, the more you were loved, the more I had to take away from you. And then the other character goes, that's why you killed my mother, because you couldn't be me. And I was like, I became better than you! And the American actress just think I was so over the top, which is fair enough, because I'm not a Yank.
What a guy.
Oh, what a guy. But there we go. But then again, I personally think that us British actors do their accents better than they can us, because I have asked a couple of American actors and actresses that say mine's not that bad, so I'm like, I will take it. Whereas whenever they do it for English guys, I'm just like, I remember we were doing a film where someone was doing an English character, but then they had to be American for a scene, to sort of lie to someone. So they did that, and as soon as the person we were lying to walked out of the room, one of us said, that was bad, like really bad. And then I turned around and said, and frankly offensive, and then walks off. And I was like, yo, oh mate, and frankly offensive. Yeah, so Gemini Flanagan, tell us a bit about him, because yeah, go for it.
Gemini is a fucking nut job.
Gemini is a Chad.
Gemini is absolutely mental, and I love him to bits. I love playing Gemini, because every line from him, it's just so obvious that he's completely unhinged.
Yeah.
And he just rattles off random bollocks.
Oh,
and
mate,
he gets such brilliant lines.
He's bonkers.
And I have so much fun, recording. And, I'll have times where I'm sitting trying to record a line, but I can't get it out because I'm laughing. And those are the best lines.
I'm just going to pull up one of the episode scripts of Gemini, which we are currently, actually, the other actors are still working on at the moment. But it's okay, because we're on hiatus at the moment, which means we've got a bit of time to get these next few episodes done. But yeah, so the episode I'm talking about is episode 17, called People Like Us. Which is a fun one, because in this one you're not here, you're sort of a ghost in my character's imagination, Alex Lance. So you and Alex go way back to childhood, and you were both in the academy at the Time Bureau, I think it's safe to say. But yeah, so in this episode, Gemini gets like the best lines. I won't say too much, but one of them involves something like a gentleman's fluffer, and like that just...
Oh yeah, gentleman's fluffer, yeah.
That just killed me. Writing that killed me. Just like the occasional exasperation moment of, oh, we're all fucked. And then... okay, yeah, so... So there's a scene where we go into a drag bar to find another character. And Gemini goes, what? Going into a drag bar? And then Alex is like, no, finding the woman who could destroy everything. We have to go in there and get her. And Gemini's just like, kill me now. He's one of those people. He's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why? Why? Which is fucking funny. So yeah, Gemini's crazy. For people who are interested, I've based Gemini Flanagan off John Sims' version of the Master from Doctor Who. Because he is unhinged and crazy as well. And it's just like both of you burn, you know? You feel rage and craze and heartbreak and all that sort of stuff. So Gemini Flanagan is a cool character for you because it's such a contrast to what you're playing in the Saken world.
And it's so fun.
I actually haven't heard any of your lines yet because I've been too busy.
I was actually just about to ask you that.
I genuinely haven't because I've been too busy writing Justice and helping you out with the play, but also working on the other couple of episodes for the Protectors of Time that I've just not gotten around to that episode yet. I'm on the one before at the moment, which is Thistle House. So I'm on the one before that at the moment, which is quite a lot of work because I'm just getting actors from all over the world actually in that episode, so it's quite tough. But yeah, I'm sure when I get to it that hearing you will make me think of John Sim, hopefully.
That would be nice.
Just, oh mate, just yeah, it's just crazy, isn't he? And completely unhinged, and he's not a main character, he's like a special guest star who will appear in and out of these shows. But season 1, you've got 2 episodes where you're in, which is this one and Gemini Flanagan, where you're actually in the flesh rather than a ghost. And then season 2, there will be 3 to 4 episodes where you appear in as the main villain for that 4-episode arc. And then season 3, you're in a couple of episodes. So yeah, I'm sticking you in throughout. Shut up, you child. Oh mate, that's exactly like one of the lines in Saken United. There's a line where someone goes, we have to pull it out and fast, and Henry's character goes, pull it out. And then like everyone's like, oh, you're such a fucking child, and you know that sounded exactly like that from the script. So I'm glad I got that on video. Oh god. But yeah, Protectors of Time. So you're a special character as Gemini, and you appear in and out. And I just wanted to ask if you ever feel like you wanted to be a bit more main, like maybe Gemini could be the main character for a full season, main villain for a full season. Like, would you enjoy doing something like that, or would you think it's best to keep him coming in and out as just to stir things up, and then he can piss off and come back?
I don't think Gemini would work as well as a character who's like in the spotlight. I feel like he's more of a background every now and then.
Well, when you say spotlight,
and then leaves.
Sure, but when you say spotlight, I disagree, because in the episodes that he is in, he is the spotlight. He is the main.
He's a gem.
Gemini gem, but well done, Danny Villano, for that.
That's pun number 2.
We're gonna get shot.
Oh yeah.
My show will be off the air within a month.
And then it'll be the Rather Late programme with Daniel Villano.
I hope you're making mugs.
Don't you worry about that.
Oh mate, if that happened, if I eventually gave up this show and gave it to you, and you actually did it, and you made a mug,
mugs.
Like, if you did it, like...
No, I'll make it t-shirts, man, I think.
Make a t-shirt. Oh mate, that'd be so fucking funny. Oh mate, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to do this show, in terms of podcasts, because I thought it was something nice to do while I'm at uni, while I'm not actually doing that much live action stuff. So I might only do this for a couple of years and maybe see what happens. But if afterwards I might pass it on to a new host. So the job's always open in the future, mate. So if you feel like you want to carry on doing something like this, then
Carry on the legacy.
carry on the legacy, and we'll change the show to the Rather Late program with Dan Villano. And yeah, it'd be interesting. That means you get your own show with your name in it, which is jokes. And then you can actually tell people not just that you're an actor, but that you've got your own show.
A talk show.
You've got your own talk show. Well, that's the thing. In the morning, when I wake up, I get my tea and I watch This Morning with Phil and Holly. When I go to bed, I watch The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, because James Corden is a great actor but a shit talk show host. And I prefer just Craig Ferguson, because that's my vibe, because he's a great Scot. Yeah, no, I just love Craig Ferguson. And he's a great comedian and he does everything well. But yeah, so I watched that show and I wanted to do something kind of like that. So this was originally planned to be a talk show, a live action talk show, but then I was like, I can't be asked to find crew members to film in my bedroom at uni, so I was just like, let's just do a talk show podcast version where we can just talk over the phone or in person and just like record it, and nobody has to be wearing suits or anything, nobody has to be stressed. Oh my god, it's so much easier. And you don't have to edit that much and all that, so it's great. But yeah, if I eventually give this up, you can definitely take over. I won't sue you. I won't sue you. God bless. Oh man. So moving onwards to the next topic, which is education. So you're or you're going into your final year next year, sixth form.
Yeah.
So what are your A levels at the moment?
I am taking psychology, English language, and film studies.
Oh, nice. English language, psychology, and film. Oh my god, you've got Boacek, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, you poor bastard. Has he showed you my films yet? Because has he showed you Saken 1? Because apparently, according to one of my mates, he uses Saken 1 as an example of like things throughout the film. So he's like, oh, this is a good example of this. This is a bad example of that.
He has not shown us Saken 1.
Okay.
But if he does, I will laugh so much. So I'm in the third one of that.
And the fourth, which will be out by that point. I'm in the third one. I'm in the fourth. Apart from we don't want him to play the third one because our editor Ryan fucked it up by removing one of the main character's whole monologues. Like Ben Davies is
it was a bit weird when I was watching it.
Mate, Ben Davies, who is one of the top characters in the whole franchise, he is the second main apart from me, in all of the films apart from the third one. He is one of the main characters, and Ryan's accidentally deleted all of his lines apart from one scene, and in that one scene that he is in, the other character is not there.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Ryan Hemingway. You're a shit editor. Oh man. Saken United is well done though. So that's good. Your lines are definitely in there. And so is Ben's. We'll see who was removed though. Anyway, so now's on to the fun bit of fan questions. So we have a couple of questions from the fans who...
That was a rather brief section.
Well, I was talking about education, but then we did, sixth form and that was it. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about your plans to go to uni or college or gap year or whatever.
Talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, so do you fancy going to uni or gap year? What's your plans?
My plan is I want to go to Oxford and study psychology and linguistics.
Okay. I can tell you it's possible because I know two dumbasses from Scotland that are there, and they are complete dumbasses, but they are bullshitting their way through doing proper subjects like science and shit in Oxford. I mean, no offence, Marcus and David, I'm sure you're both actually smart guys deep down, but apparently, like, yo, I remember talking to Marcus and I was like, you fucking smart asses. He was like, no, I'm just bullshitting my way through. I was like, yo! Anyway, yeah, so you want to go to Oxford?
Yeah.
You fucking smart ass.
There's no point aiming low, though, is there?
Well, I certainly didn't aim for Kingston, if that's what you mean, but...
No, that's not...
But it was the only one that would do the courses that I needed.
There are a few universities that I've been looking at that do offer my course. One of them just happens to be Oxford, and I just thought, you know what? Fuck it.
You were like, let's say Oxford on air and get the host to berate me for choosing a smart ass uni.
Let's say Oxford in the public domain and then get bullied for it.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Oxford and then like, you fucking smart ass.
You little prick.
You prick. You bastard. Oh, mate. And you want to study linguistics and...
psychology.
Oh, you smart ass. You smart ass. Is Miss Morrissey still teaching that?
Yeah, Miss Morrissey still teaches.
Is there another teacher for that? I swear there was another teacher,
No,
but then she
Miss
left.
Morrissey.
Oh, okay, just
for psychology is just Miss Morrissey.
Fair enough. Right, moving on to the fan questions then.
Yep.
So these are from fans who watch the Saken films and Protectors of Time, and also are just fellow actors who are interested to hear your expertise.
Right.
Which I have to say, none of us have, but there we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this one is from fellow Saken star Luke Boatfield, who was the first villain and also the co-writer of the first Saken film. So he says, what was your experience like working in the Saken franchise? So Saken 3, United, and any future projects?
It's a very good question.
Bear in mind that these are all audio from now on.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a new thing for me because I'd done bits and pieces of stage acting and theatre acting and stuff like that.
Well, you're a proper actor.
And so, but I did really enjoy doing impressions and I stuff like that, and I really did enjoy acting. So I thought, to be honest with you, I wasn't actually thinking I might want to get into voice acting. Then
Sure.
You, the miracle worker that you are, you messaged me like, do you want to do voice acting? I was like, yes,
Let's
absolutely.
do it. Speaking of doing impressions, actually, there is an episode where I've got of Protectors of Time in season 2 where it's not Gemini, but there's another character who goes through a stage of having. Have you seen Split?
No.
Well, he's basically James McAvoy in Split, and he goes through all these personalities.
Right.
So basically, there's a chance for doing a character with like different voices and all that in the same scene, which is quite cool. So if you fancy doing that, I could stick you down for that.
I can do a solid Kermit the Frog voice if that's what you want.
Oh my God! Please say hi. My name is Kermit.
Hi, old Kermit the Frog here.
Oh my fucking God! Why are there so many? Do the rainbows. Why are there so many?
Why are there so many rainbows?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? I get carried away, I told you people.
Yep.
And what's on the other side? So thank you, Boti, for that question. The next question, it's from a director a director and writer and producer. He gave me my first film role actually as Matt Caldor. This is Edward Tracy asking, what made you want to direct and co-write a play?
I briefly went over this, but I will go over again. The original concept concept was it was a charity event, and I thought that could be a good way to raise money. And I figured initially, I thought there is no way in hell that anyone is going to want to direct it, and if they do, there's no way in hell they're going to know what they're talking about.
So you immediately took over the directing because you were like, nobody will know shit.
I took over the directing because I thought, I don't trust any of these people.
Great. That's me with my films. Like, I write the script and then I'm like, you know what? Only I know what I had in my head for that, so I have to direct that.
Yeah, and then I had, kind of like when I was talking about it to the other members of the gym team initially, I was just saying, yeah, I've got an idea, and I'll start writing the script for it, and then they went, yeah, great, who's going to direct? And I went, I'm writing it, so I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, great.
Do you want me to just? And I went, yeah, all right, okay. So that's what I'm doing. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters are a lot of fun to write.
Man,
and I get
Jones
the
is
feeling that I'm
fucking
probably going
funny.
to have to perform one of them.
Fair enough. Be Jones. I want to see you as Jones. That would be great. Or bring me in. Bring me in. Force Mike out of it. Lock him in the kitchens or some shit.
Kick him out of his chair.
I have a mate who's done that. He's locked his wheelchair-bound mate in a storeroom without his chair. And that was on Halloween apparently.
Jesus Christ.
I fucking know. Anyway, yeah. So what? This is from Emma Jones, who was a musician and actor. What charity have you chosen the play to perform for? So what charity did you choose the play?
Now, I'm going to be dead honest with you, right? We haven't actually chosen a charity yet. I'm 95% sure it's going to be ActionAid, because that's just kind of the charity that we often do for charity events.
Sure.
Our school. And so I'm fairly sure it probably will be ActionAid, but it's entirely possible it could be another one. For
sure. This next question is from... Oh, it's anonymous. It's anonymous. God. Great. And I'm definitely not reading out the email address. So, this says, what do you like about playing Richard Ryan / Zero in the Saken films? About his character.
Who's asking these fucking questions?
You have fans. That should be enough.
I don't understand how.
Because my shitty films are actually that good.
This is a really surreal experience for me. Because, I saw that there was a section dedicated to fan questions, but I was like, nah, it's just gonna be bollocks he's made up.
No.
I didn't realise it was actual people.
Yeah.
This is so surreal. People know who I am through your stuff. This is all.
Well, to be fair, not gonna lie, most of them have worked with me before. So,
yeah.
so most of them have worked with me before. But yeah.
Right. So, question: how do I feel about playing Richard?
Yeah.
Richard. I feel like Richard's always going to have a place close to my heart because he was my first role. He's my breakout.
Sure, that's the same with me and Matt. Yeah.
But I enjoy playing Richard because it's a way to always let off some steam in a sense.
Yeah, because
he's quite raw and emotional and a lot of the time quite serious.
Yeah.
And it's a good way.
He's also a rip-off of Hawkeye for the people at home.
Yeah. I try my best to, in my own day-to-day life, I try my best to be quite jovial. It doesn't work a lot of the time, I'll be honest, but I do try my best to be quite positive and upbeat. That doesn't always, though sometimes I'm not up to that, and Richard is a good way to let some of that out, I think.
Oh, nice.
Which is why he's really important for me, and I really enjoy playing Richard, which is why I'm still not, which is why I haven't told you to fuck off, basically.
Mate, you're bound by contract.
I'm bound by contract, I'm bound by blood, I can't...
Yeah, he can't leave. He can't leave.
Yeah.
I'm just going to elaborate on that, as well as just Richard, the human side, but also Zero in the most recent Saken United, and the next one, Saken the End. What do you like playing about the alternative side of Richard, the hero version? Not to say that Richard's not the hero, but the sort of super character version.
because he's a superhero. It's badass.
What a great fucking answer.
That's all I have to say in response to that. Because Zero, it's a cool name. It's a cool character. Hell yeah.
Oh,
I'm such a child.
I love it. This was me. Okay, this one is from Jamie Weaver, who plays Hamish throughout the Saken films. Do you prefer acting or writing? He also added directing, but I know you haven't done that yet as the play isn't being worked on at the moment. So I'm just going to ask you acting or writing.
That is a tricky one, to be honest with you.
Because I fucking love both equally now.
I haven't done enough writing. I have really enjoyed the writing that I've done.
Sure.
But I've just had more opportunities have come up for me for acting.
Sure.
But I wouldn't have gotten into writing without acting.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, sure.
And so
sure.
I feel like I probably do enjoy acting a little bit more, but it's a very specific type of acting. I think. I feel like if it's something that I can't have fun with, then you know.
Yeah, that's the same with me. If I won't enjoy a project, then I won't do it.
Yeah.
Speaking about writing, I've got opportunities for you to continue writing in screen world rather than stage.
Okay.
So, as I said, after the Justice film, there is a Zero's redemption film, which follows your character on from Justice, but also from the end, where you play a different version of the character altogether. And I might get you to co-write me your own solo film.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. So that's that. But also, I might get you to write a Protectors of Time episode.
Let's go.
You're loving it.
Mate, my career's off to a banging start.
Oh yeah. And yeah. This one is from Hamish Clark, who is my boy. Hamish is a guy that I know from Port Glasgow, and he's also an actor.
Right.
And he is just a fucking legend, but he's fucking mental. In the mental sense that for my birthday just gone in November, I turned 20, and he came down all the way from Glasgow. He took a plane to Heathrow, and then got the train from Heathrow to Kingston, and then came to my house in Kingston, gave me a bottle of scotch, a glass of Robert Burns whiskey, and then we drank the whole bottle in one. I got to keep the glass, and then we had a Chinese, and then the next day he flew back up to Glasgow, and I was like, he rips me on every professional thing I do, but he is like one of those friends who will be there forever. So he's a legend, but he's a prick. I love you, Hamish. So he said, where did you come up with the idea for the story of the play?
How did I come up with the idea for the story of the play? That's a very good question, because to be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that. It was just kind of one day I came up with the characters first and foremost, because I had a few ideas for characters. I based all of the characters off people that I knew. So I hesitate to say the main character has a god complex, and he's based off my friend, who constantly has on multiple occasions.
We won't name him, but he is known as the King of Rusthall.
No. It's a different character. It's just the guy who I based Sam off.
Sam? I thought Joe was the King of Rusthall.
Joe is the King of Rusthall, but no.
I thought the main character is Joe, isn't it?
Sorry?
Main character is Joe, isn't it?
Yeah, but because I'd originally written it, so my original intention was that Sam was going to be the main character.
Right, okay, I see.
Which is why he's always going on about him being the main character.
Right, I see, that's where it comes in.
Then it just kind of turned into Joe, because Joe was more entertaining and he had a more...
Yeah, because...
He's the one who brought the fucking goat in.
Yeah, he's the one who brought the goat in, so I thought that's why he was main. I thought the reason that you started saying that Sam was like, "Oh, I'm the main character in this," was because he wasn't the main character. So it was a little play on play.
That's turned into what the joke is now.
Right. Okay.
But I based him off my friend who was on multiple occasions gone off about how he thinks he's not just the main character of his life, but of life in general. And so I based that aspect of Sam off him. Joe is based off
the King of Rusthall.
As the King of Rusthall. He's the only person I've ever met who's patriotic about a village.
Yeah, he's a special dude.
His mannerisms and his overall level of intelligence are based off this guy. All of the characters based on people I know, but one of my favourite character, I think, Charlie, he's mainly my favourite because I based a lot of his mannerisms off what I would say, and also because I'm a narcissist, and and he's absolutely terrified of everything, and I love writing that because it's just like, oh my god, I'm going to die, like constantly, and it's brilliant. But I got the idea for the story, but I created all these characters, and I kind of threw them together, and I thought, okay, how can I have them interact in a way that would be amusing? And I thought, okay, they need to work together on something, because otherwise they're not going to interact, because they're all so different.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, what if I get them... My original intention was I was going to have them all, like, some work experience together, where, like, the boss was, like, some prick, and they all had to, like, work together to, like, get it all done, and then it would be some, like, really flowery story about teamwork and tolerance and shit like that. And then I came up with the idea and I was like, no, this is bollocks, I hate this with a passion. And so I completely scrapped the idea. And I was like, you know what? What's a stupid animal? A goat. Yeah, sure. One of them brings a goat in. And I thought, yeah, we'll roll with it from there.
You should have just used the King of Rusthall as the animal.
It's based on how he acts, he might as well be the animal.
Oh, I know you said you had a guy who wants to play the goat, but you should make the King of Rusthall the goat.
Oh god, that'd be brilliant.
Oh my god, it would be fucking great.
He wouldn't do it, but it'd be so funny.
Just force him into it. So, that would be fucking funny. This is from Mark Thomas, who's producer of multiple things. He works with me on my films, but he's also done some uncredited producing for Warner Bros. So Mark Thomas is a legend in the industry. So he says you've okay. He says you've done 2 Saken films now and are contracted to do 5 more. You're forced. He then goes on to say, oh my god, I'm going blind. So he says, in the future, where would you like to see the character of Richard go if you had any input in the storylines? Which you always do. If you want to say you want this character to go through a certain thing, then I will always add that into the script, or you can co-write it. But yeah, so he's basically saying, you've got 5 more films. Where do you want the storyline for him to go? Because you're never going to retire. By the way, like, you've got 5 films, and at the end of every film, you're going to retire.
I was going to say, I just want him to have a happy life. I just want him to just be able to
retire.
Say, yeah, I've done all this crazy shit, but I'm all right now, thanks.
But that's the gag. That's the gag I've made, because he's done this twice now, and every time he says, I'm retired, I'm done. And he's done that in both United and Saken 3. And now he keeps coming back, because things have to make him come back. So, other than that, because I'm never going to let you retire, mate. I'm bringing you back for all of these 5 films. I am the MCU of this bitch. So, what's it called? So yeah, if you have any particular storyline, where do you feel the character should be heading apart from retirement?
So I can't say retirement.
Well, I'm just saying I'm never going to allow him to retire. He will die before he retires. He will die before he retires. Is there anything you want him to go through? Is there something that you want him to go through, a mental breakdown, or you want him to go through, you know, his child going through school?
Why would I want him to go through a mental breakdown?
Maybe you want to act in a different sort of way. Because I know there's certain things that I would like to do in acting that I've not done yet. So there's certain aspects of things like I'd love to try and do a breakdown or a full-on crying scene in a film which I haven't done yet. But that would push me to the edge.
I have never done a full-on breakdown scene, and I've always
never will.
thought about it. I've always thought about it.
Right,
I've
okay.
always thought about, like, for example, when I've been writing the play,
Sure.
there's been like, namely Charlie.
Sure.
I've been thinking, it would be very much in character to write a full-on breakdown for him.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, like, how I would do that, and I've never actually got the chance to do that. Not that I'm wishing a breakdown upon Richard, but I am curious as to see how I pull that off.
I definitely have something coming up for Richard to go through something like that. So I'm not going to tell you everything, but I do have the makings of the lines so far. So it's not been expressed in films before, but Richard's quite a religious person, actually. He's a family man. He's got religious virtues to try and, keep his family safe and all that. And I'm not just saying that keeping your family safe is a religious virtue, it's just part of that religion.
Only religious people can do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Atheists are beasts.
I look forward to your angry tweets and emails. And YouTube comments. Basically... Yeah, so Richard goes through something in his own solo film, which is after the Justice film. And by the end of the film... No, by the start of the film, actually, he goes through something quite traumatic. One of the other main characters in the Saken world die. And I'm not going to tell people who, not even you, but one of the characters die, and there's a scene, a little monologue that Richard goes to the balcony of Array Industries, and he just looks up at the sky, and he screams at God, and he's just like, he's breaking down, like, he's trying to light a cigarette, actually, but he can't light it, so he chucks the lighter and cigarette over the edge of the balcony, and he screams, and then he says, "You cruel, manipulative bastard," like, just screaming at God. I think I
could have a lot of fun doing, that's maybe not the phrase the greatest. I think there could be something that I would like to do.
Sure.
But I would definitely have to make sure that I'm home alone when I'm doing it, because it would involve me being quite loud. And then if I weren't home alone, it would involve people getting the belt out.
Getting the belt?
Not throwing shade at anyone, but I would get beaten.
Like, if there are people in the house, you should just tell them that you are recording for a film and it's not your own mind. You must say that. I don't want you beaten over my film.
Get beaten, it's fine.
You can beaten anyway. Oh my God.
It's not a problem at this point.
Stop the recording. Call Childline. Social services. Oh my God. In all seriousness, are you safe?
My mum knows I'm not.
Oh my God. I will continue this conversation after we end the recording.
Okay. God.
Oh my God. Anyway, so we got a chance for that. Matthew Baker, who is a writer of many YouTube TV shows, as well as some stuff for me, he Oh, prick. He's because he's done it about me, and I don't want to ask it because I'm not sure what you're gonna say. But he says, when you first met Bash Dinsmore, what were your thoughts? He's basically saying, am I a prick or was I good?
So, what possessed him to ask that question or whatever?
He asks that for everyone. Like, if you listen back to each
right.
guest, he asks, what's your thoughts of the prick Bash Dinsmore?
So I'm trying to think when I first like properly met you, because I'd seen you like in homework club and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Beating kids.
I'm not sure.
Not beating kids.
I didn't ever do anything in homework club. Like I just kind of sat there being quiet for the most part. I seem to remember.
Yeah, I remember having chats with you occasionally and having a funny laugh, but nothing like screaming at you because I screamed at other kids.
No, I think we first like properly met with Mary Poppins, and that first proper encounter was just, what you said? Props. No, you're not coming with me.
You're coming with me.
I was being a very, very timid boy, I was a little shit scared, I'll be honest. But
What was it because I was part staff at the time?
Sorry?
Was it because I was part staff at the time?
Half to do with that,
okay. Yeah. Or the other version, I was a big fucker. Gigantor.
In awe at the size of this lad.
Oh my god. My god. Okay, thank you to Matthew for that. Fucking, I'll be sending angry tweets and emails to him now.
You prick.
You fucking prick.
Stop asking that question.
Please. Okay. Oh, fucking Ben Davies. He know he can't ask this. Ben Davies is John West in the Saken world. He asks, do you survive Saken the End? And because I, the creator, am right here, I am watching you like a hawk, boy. You better not say anything that ruins it.
No comment.
Good man. Fuck you, Ben, for asking that. Oh my fucking god. Ryan Hemingway.
Right.
Do you know what happens in Saken the End?
No comment.
I think I've told you the story, but I haven't given you the screenplay yet, just because we were focusing on United first.
Yeah.
These.
Why is it that the people who know, the people who are most likely to know, why is it that they're asking?
Oh, because I have given them all different scripts.
I see.
So, because I don't want anyone to know who actually will die in Saken the End, I've given everyone different alternative endings. Like, everyone will have the correct lines for their character in each of the versions of the script, but there will be different endings for those characters in different versions. So, like, in the one for Ben, he might get the different version of a scene between you and Henry. He might, the different characters might die in different versions of the script. Anyway.
It's a lot of work to keep people from shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, but it's also what I don't want people to tell people, so they can shut the fuck up. So these next 3 questions are from Jazir Shine, who is a side character in the Saken world and a main character in Protectors of Time.
Yeah.
So question 1 from him says, how are both Gemini Flanagan and Richard Ryan like you? So what's similar about you and your characters? Apart from the fact that you fucking play them.
Damn it.
Because I told you I said that once in an interview.
Yeah, you did. So Richard is like me. God, I've got to make up some bollocks on the spot.
just say no comment. Just say no.
I have an actual answer.
Right.
Richard is like me because he's
special.
I feel like I kind of learned this a little bit from Richard, in that Richard's like me in that he's caring kind of person. Like, he does put others before himself. And
yeah,
I like to think
he's
that
very
I try
caring.
and do that.
Yeah, 100%.
I like to try and think that I try and put other people's needs before my own.
For sure. I completely agree with you, but going back to a topic earlier about, the anxiety and all that, make sure you sort yourself out before you can sort anyone else out. I have to say that.
I'll do what I want.
I'll do what I want, bitch. How dare you? Just like there's going to be an argument between me and you, which eventually ends up in you having the last laugh of taking over my talk show. So all future listeners and guests on my show, you know who's coming next. It's Dan Villano's show.
You will welcome your tyrannical dictator with open arms.
Yeah. Oh God. I'd love to see what your version of the show is like.
Oh God.
I'd love to see how many guests you'd have as well. It would be
it's like
me.
They're all the same person.
It would be me, maybe, if I chose to come back for interviews. It would be me.
Just get fucked. This was my show.
It would be me. It would be maybe the King of Rusthall and then the What a Chad Man.
No, I refuse to have King of Rusthall on. I refuse. I refuse. There's I have some dignity.
Okay, so you'd have Danny DeVito on.
Absolutely, 100%.
110%.
100%. Right, okay, what was the question?
How are your characters like you?
Richard is caring and is selfless, and I like to think that I'm a bit like that. I might have gotten it from him, who knows.
Okay, and Gemini?
And